How are you all doing today? Today's show is entitled Feminism Equals Freedom. So, when we talk about feminism, I saw a video today that a friend sent me, and it made me think about women being happier um, without not being married and without children, women having a happier life. And if you think about it, it's really satanic because when we talk about a woman having a happier life, what is she really basing her happiness on? The world. She's basing her happiness on how much indulgence that she can have in the world. If you look at all of the rhetoric behind women being liberated and free and happy in an older age, it all deals with indulging in the world. Usually promiscuity, usually a lot of vacations, usually a lot of expenditures, a lot of consuming, a lot of indulgence. And so what does it mean to truly be happy under feminism? Well, I would say that women probably are more happy in the not being married and or have children because they can succumb to their nature. But, the devil might give you what you want, but he will never let you enjoy it. And so those same women may get polled and surveyed and say they're happy now, but time will tell. And again, that life gets old. And really what you find is you find women being able to enjoy what they believe is life like a man. And so what you find is the woman's able to, be independent, make her own way, make her own money, be like a man in that sense, but nothing else is like a man. If you think about it, most of the careers that women excel in, if the world collapsed tomorrow, wouldn't benefit them in one way, shape, or form. I'm gonna say it again. Most of the careers that women excel in, these boss chicks, if the world collapsed tomorrow, these women would not be able to do anything based on the skills they've acquired from their career. So in other words, women are happy now being free because the world hasn't collapsed. Once the world collapses and it's kill or be killed, eat or be eaten, you're going to see women very unhappy because all of these women that are saying they're happy being single, happy with no children, happy being a boss, happy traveling the world. If the world collapses tomorrow, where are they going to run to? They're going to run to men. Anytime you have your cake and you're able to eat it too, you are going to be in a state where you are going to sin. Because having your cake and eating it too doesn't involve character. And so right now you see women having their cake and eating it too. A woman can go out there and have an abortion and get celebrated. A woman can go out there and have a high body count and get celebrated. A woman can go out there and be a feminist and be celebrated. Women can pretty much do anything and get celebrated. That's having your cake and eating it too. That's having your cake and eating it too. So what you see now is you see women living their best life. You have shows like Living Single. You have shows like Sex in the City. So when a woman says that she's happy, her happiness is based on the societal values that have been given to her. It's based on programming. So she's happy that she's able to participate in the program, but she's not really happy. Because once reality sets in and once the facade fades and she sees the truth, she's going to be like Diane Carroll in that back of that limousine. 70-some years old, miserable. She's going to be like Eartha Kitt on that TV show, crying. All the men that didn't want to sleep with me, they really love me. Yeah, you figure it out now? You finally figured it out? You almost 70 years old and you finally figured it out? That's when the facade ends. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Excuse me. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. Here we go.
If you're a man, you should probably get married. If you're a woman, don't bother. See, if you're a man, you basically calm down. So everyone knows what men are like when they're together in groups. So you take less risks, you earn more money at work, you live a little longer. She, on the other hand, has to put up with that, and she dies sooner than if she never married. You know, the healthiest and happiest population subgroup are women that have never married and never had children. Yeah. We love it when evidence confirms what we always do. That's called confirmation bias, by the way. So, but that's interesting, isn't it? Because the narrative is something quite different, particularly for women. You know, if you see a single woman of 40 who hasn't had children, bless. That's a shame, isn't it? Maybe one day you'll meet the right guy and that'll all change. No, maybe one day you'll meet the wrong guy and that'll all change. Maybe you'll meet somebody that will make you less happy and less healthy and die sooner.
So, again, the women are happy based on the programming. They're happy based on propaganda. They're happy based on fulfilling what has been pushed, what has been put in them. There are plenty of women in their 40s that never had children, living their best life. But for how long? You see, what women don't ever factor in is that you have a time clock. There's going to come a time when you go out, no man's going to look at you. The type of man that you desire is not going to look at you. That is the way of the world. It's a harsh reality. They don't tell you about that. They don't tell you the psychological effect that women go through when they get older and men stop checking them out and body parts start sagging. I don't care what they tell you on the outside. There's an internal battle going on. And if you spent your whole life putting all your stock in the world, you're not going to adapt too well. Because I guarantee you're going to wish that you had a man there that doesn't mind you getting older, doesn't mind you sagging, that loves you for you. You're going to wish you had that when you're older. But society is lying to you again. The devil will always give you what you want, but he is never going to let you enjoy it. So you may be, think about what women are saying. Just list the things. Listen to women talking about their freedom and how they're happy. And I guarantee their happiness is linked to access to the world. Their happiness isn't linked to God. You ain't heard these women say, I'm single with no kids and I'm serving the Lord. You ain't never heard that. You have never heard these women say, I'm single, I don't have any children, I'm free, and I gave my life to God. You ain't never heard that. You know why? Because that ain't what they want. They did all of this to be free in the world. I believe when Eve saw that fruit and saw it was good, I believe she said, if I bite this fruit, I'm going to have wings. I'll be able to fly away from Adam. I'll be able to fly. That movie Maleficent is based on Lilith, this fictional person that was supposed to be the wife before Eve. She had wings. She flew away. So again, these women and their happiness is based on the world. So if you have your freedom, and you don't have any children, and you're single, then you should be that much more on fire for God. But you never hear them say, with all that power and freedom and access and leverage, you never hear them say, I'm serving the Lord, which should let you know their intent. A woman out there, young, she buys her house, she has her car, has her career, got them purses and those shoes. She had all those things. What is she getting it for? What is a young woman getting all those things for? Now, most men that do those things, that go out there and get a house, get their career right established, they're thinking about a family. But when a woman does it, she is not thinking about her family. She's thinking about herself. This is the flip side to women being free and happy. The flip side is what's created. A monster is created. Eve was a monster. Think about Eve in the garden and the serpent coming up to her. She ain't even startled. She ain't even afraid. She's not even in awe. She's not even weary. Why was Eve so comfortable? Why was Eve so comfortable to entertain the serpent? Why wasn't she afraid? Right now, if I let a mouse loose in most of you all's house right now, y'all running around the house off a mouse. If I let a mouse loose in y'all house right now, most women are running around the house because that little bitty mouse. Why was Eve so comfortable with that serpent? I'll tell you why. Because she had freedom. She was a boss chick. She was the first chick. So again, when women have all of this freedom, all of this access, all of this money, all this leverage, you know what they're talking to? When a woman becomes a boss chick, who do you think she's talking to? Who do you think the woman is talking to when she's a boss chick in the world? Now, one thing about a woman out there, then her goal is to be successful. And we already know that a woman is truly going to serve God through her honoring her husband. Now, the man honors God, the woman honors the man. The woman's supposed to give the husband the same honor that she gives God. And the husband is supposed to love that woman like Christ loved the church. I said that the woman is supposed to honor the man like she honors God, and the man is supposed to love that woman like Christ loved the church. So my question is, if a woman is out there and she's focused on getting to the top, who is she talking to? So you want me to believe that a woman is talking to Satan all the way to the top, and then when she gets to the top, she's happy? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I was in a health food store one time, not health food store, a healthy, like, one of them healthy organic shops, It's a good guy. He actually moved his store from over here up in Marietta, but I'm in the aisle and the guy talked to her. We talking and we end up all talking. And she says, she said, why can't I find a man? She says, I make six figures. She said, I got the 6 Series BMW. I got the condo. And I'm looking at her, but her stomach is like she swallowed Humpty Dumpty. Her stomach poked out to here. I'm like, and she ain't pregnant. I'm looking at her like, she in here buying all kind of herbs and all this stuff, but that ain't gonna make that stomach go down. Them herbs and all that stuff, and them you drinking them fast, the drinks where you liquid fast drinks and all, that ain't gonna work. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna drink all them drinks for 2 days, and then on the third day, you're gonna resurrect on the third day and go dive into a 20-piece all flat. So those drinks and herbs don't work. It don't work. If they did, everybody would do it. But she's talking to me, talking about where are the men? Why don't they want me? I'm looking at her, and her stomach literally poked out to here. I'm just looking like, man. You know, they always say, I go to the gym, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose this weight, but you know, I go to the gym. No, I know what y'all do. Y'all go to the gym and then you go out to eat. You're supposed to go to the gym and work out, not just go to the gym. Go to the gym and work out. Faith come by hearing and hearing the word of God. Y'all just going to the gym. No, you got to go to the gym and work out. Faith without works is dead. So you got to have faith, and your actions got to line up with your faith. Same thing with going to the gym, ladies. You got to go to the gym and work out. So again, y'all want me to believe that these women are happy. They didn't have a singular focus. They ain't focused on a man. They ain't focused on children. They ain't focused on family. Then that means they focused on the world. And you want to convince me after all that focusing on the world, they happy. I call cap. I call cap. I call cap. But I'm not saying that the woman should be condemned because her stomach is poked out. I'm saying she's telling me when I ask her what kind of guy does she want, if she tell me one of the deacons at the church, okay. If she tell me an old high school friend, okay. But when she tell me 6 feet, 6-pack, 6 figures, when she tell me what kind of man when she describe what kind of man she wants, I'm like, come on, man. We can't, no. As a man, if a man's not in a position to be a father, to be a husband, to be a father, to be a leader, to be a provider, he shouldn't even be dating, to be honest with you. If a man isn't in a position to be a person that can guide and provide and assume the responsibility, he shouldn't even be dating. Because we date to set a date for marriage. So again, the same thing I would tell a man, I'm going to tell the woman. If your stomach is poked out to here, you shouldn't even be dating. Not based on that criteria. Now listen, if you want Deacon Samuels, then go ahead and you can do that. If you want Brother Williams at Friday Fish at his church, then you can do that. If you want old Billy Ray down there at Chit Chats, be there on Saturdays, you can get that. But if you want the 6-pack and the 6 feet with broad shoulders and some, no, you can't. You shouldn't be dating. Get that right first. Get rid of them, you look like a marsupial. Get rid of them Joeys out your pouch and then go and go pursue that man. But you can't ask for the man and you just can't. And so what happens is that women become more delusional without a man because the man is their reality bringer. The man brings reality. If he's a bad man, he's going to bring reality. If he's a good man, he's going to bring reality. So a woman's goal should always be to be in position to be found by a righteous man. He that findeth the wife findeth a good thing. So if a woman is a wife, that correlates with a good thing. So if a woman tells me she's a good woman, well, she got to be a wife, whether she's married or not. I know that the women are delusional because women don't realize that society has set it up for you to believe that you are a boss chick. Isn't it ironic that the more freedom that women have. The women's liberation movement has been running neck and neck with the LGBTQP, don't forget X, Y, and Z movement. How is it possible for women to get liberated just to get to the top of the mountain and have to fight some more men, except the men got on wigs and high heels? I'll tell you why, because it's a setup. They set y'all up. They programmed you to make you believe that you could do this on your own. God saw man alone and saw that it wasn't good. So when this guy's talking about marriage being beneficial to a man, the benefits of marriage aren't external for a man. It's internal. Because the marriage brings out of the man his full purpose and potential. Taking care of his wife and children brings out the best of a man. So the man's benefit of marriage, you aren't going to see him on paper. Because what's on the inside in him, that spirit gets strengthened and it comes out. That's why the man benefits from marriage. But a woman, her nature is to submit to a man. Her nature is to want to nurture children. That's in her nature. Her nature is to love. Her nature is to turn a house into a home. But her nature also is to be chaotic. Her nature also is to be wild and free. And so the balance portion of it comes when she gets with a man, that to balance out the wild parts of the women. And the woman balances out that spirit of, what can I say about men? That lack of responsibility in a man, that lack of ownership. Because men tend to want to stay in that boyhood phase a long time. So the woman actually helps mature the man. But it's a myth that women mature faster than men. That's a myth. I don't believe that at all. I see women 50 years old copying after Meg Thee Stallion. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. But anyway, so my point is that men need women and women need men. We are all equal in value, but not in role. In the eyes of God, the man and the woman are the same, but the roles of the men and women are different. So the man's job is to guide, provide, and assume the responsibility. And so when this guy on the screen says that women are happier, women in the audience start clapping because they want to be able to indulge in the world. They're not clapping saying, I'm free to serve the Lord. I'm free to follow Christ. They're clapping saying, I'm free to go do the will of Satan. And again, when the serpent came up to Eve, Eve had a full-blown conversation. Glad she had somebody to talk to. Sat down, had a good time. Serpent said, you look nice today, Eve. So, thank you. It's a nice day, isn't it? It's a beautiful day, wonderful day. You see, a woman's weakness is her ears. That's why the old saying goes, conversation rules the nation. A woman's weakness is her ears. A lot of you women, when a man starts talking, you should do like this. Go back to when you were 5 years old. Do like this. That's your weakness, ladies, your ear gates. A man's weakness is his eye gates, what he sees. That's why most men should do like this. So women, your weakness is your ears. So when Kamala's up there talking, it sounds good. When Meg Thee Stallion is talking, it sounds good. When Cardi B is talking, it sounds good. When Sexy Red is talking, it sounds good. To most men, they sound stupid. But to most women, it sounds like gold. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. Here we go.
Nobody really likes you when you do everything everyone asks and tells you to do.
Amen.
Nobody likes you when you have boundaries.
Mm.
I had to learn to grow some boundaries. The more that I understood what boundaries really meant, the less people started to like me. And the more I understood how fantastic and healthy that was.
That's Sharon Stone. Obviously, she's hit the wall. But, so you hear Sharon Stone, listen again.
Everybody really likes you when you do everything everyone asks and tells you to do.
Amen.
Nobody likes you when you have boundaries.
Mm.
So you have two young ladies listening to a feminist. And what Sharon Stone is really saying is that I spent my best years not having any boundaries. That's what she's saying. I spent my best years not having any boundaries. I was trying to please everybody. You know, she was in Hollywood, so she was doing what? She was pleasing Satan. You're not going to find a woman that's a boss chick, Miss Independent, Miss Got It All, happy, single, no kids. You're not going to find a woman that's like that talking about Christ. You're not going to do it. She's not going to talk about Jesus. Sharon Stone just told you, I didn't have any boundaries. So that means she got a high body count, a lot of trauma, a lot of drama, a lot of chaos. Look at her face. Does Sharon Stone look happy?
I had to learn to grow some boundaries. The more that I understood what boundaries were.
Does Sharon Stone look happy? Forget what they put on the survey. I'm happy. Does she look happy?
In my 60s, people think that no one looks at you anymore. And the truth of the matter is, I have just as many people who want to sleep with me now as I ever did. There isn't that thing when you walk in the room that every guy goes, ooh, because you're not as easy as you were when you were young. And men recognize that's why they don't.
This woman just said she's in her 60s and she's not easy. Who believes that Sharon Stone? Hold up. Sharon Stone just told you when she was at her best, she didn't have any boundaries. Now, what you think she doing at 60? You think she got a chastity belt on at 60, Sharon Stone? You think Miss, and what's that movie? Killer, was it Killer Instinct? What was the movie she crossed her legs? Do you think Sharon Stone ain't loose with that old cooch? You think this saber-toothed mountain lion, who believes that Sharon Stone ain't loose with that cooch? Talking about she ain't easy. Are you kidding me, Sharon Stone? Tanya just said she removed all the ratchet female singers from her playlist. She said that's a start. It is a start. You know why? Because those women are giving you a message of feminism. That's called programming. These women are telling you to go out into the world and do whatever your heart desires. That's Satan. That's Satan. A woman's value is in her preservation. Period. How much access has she given the world? But Tanya said I had to remove that from my playlist, those artists, because she recognized these women are giving me a message that's counterproductive to me being a wife. And if I listen to that music every single day, Blanche done told me faith comes by hearing. But if I don't add the word of God to that hearing, then I'm going to put my faith in what I heard. So that means a bunch of women out there, their faith is in Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Madonna, all these other feminist artists. You see what happened to Demi Lovato? She turned to Danny DeVito. Demi Lovato was fine. I wake up one day, she Danny DeVito. I'm like, what the heck happened? These women go crazy. They're not going to tell you the after effects of no children, no man, being single, dolls at the house, traveling, all that. They never tell you the after effects. The devil going to always give you what you want, but he is never going to let you enjoy it. Now, Sharon Stone want to make me believe that at 60 years old, she waiting for the right guy. Girl, stop. You are old, say prehistoric saber tooth. Are you crazy? And you even sneeze, Sharon Stone pulling them drawers down. Are you kidding me, Sharon Stone? Stop. You ain't easy. Girl, please. Easy is relative. Come on.
I'm in my 60s. People think that no one looks at you anymore. And the truth of the matter is, I have just as many people who want to sleep with me now as I ever did. There isn't that thing when you walk in the room that every guy goes, ooh, because you're not as easy as you were when you were young. And men recognize that's why they don't look at you as much. It's not because you're not as hot. You're not as easy to... And you're not as easy to get rid of, and you're not as easy to keep quiet.
Do you see what I mean? This woman she's created a whole different reality. The men are looking at me, not because I'm about to be 70, but because I'm not easy. Are you out of your mind, Sharon Stone? This is what happens, though. Women are delusional. And what helps women not be delusional is being around a man. Women are delusional. This woman, Sharon Stone, just said that the men are not looking at me, not because I'm old, because I'm not easy. Are you out of your mind? And these women sit there like, And Sharon Stone is slick. She's purposefully giving these young girls bad information. Because guess what? When you're single at 60-something, a girl in her 20s is your competition. When you're single in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, the younger women are your competition. This is why you rarely see older women passing on some good game to the young women, because they ain't in competition with them. Most of the women that give women good advice are married. Most of the women that give women good advice are married. But Sharon Stone is slick. She is telling these young girls, listen, y'all, you're going to get the same amount of guys you're getting now, you're going to get them in your 60s and 70s. It's a lie. Especially if you're Caucasian. No offense, I love everybody, but the Caucasian women age in dog years. The Caucasian women age in dog years. We all know this. It ain't a secret. They know it. But they love the sun. It's tough. White women love the tan in the sun, but boy, that sun be like Ali. It'd be like Frazier and George Foreman. Down goes Frazier. Boy, that sun they already aged in dog years, and that sun add about an extra 10. I just saw a white lady. She probably was about 40 years old. Her face was red, and she looked crazy. It looked like she was fried. I'm just like, man, come on. But anyway, but what I'm saying is that you're going to age as a woman. So you can't put your stock in your beauty. You have to put your stock in you being a good woman, because that's priceless and that's timeless. You got to put stock in being a good woman. Because putting into your beauty is going to be very fleeting. You got to compete with a girl that's 18, 19, 20. You can't compete with her. You can't compete. You might know more than her, but if a man is dating her, he ain't dating her for her brains. Let's be honest. Let's continue.
I'm in my 60s. People think that no one looks at you anymore. And the truth of the matter is, I have just as many people who want to sleep with me now as I ever did. There isn't that thing when you walk in the room that every guy goes, ooh, because you're not as easy as you were when you were young. And men recognize that's why they don't look at you as much. It's not because you're not as hot. You're not as easy to... And you're not as easy to get rid of, and you're not as easy to keep quiet.
Boy, Sharon Stone ought to be ashamed of herself, man. Sharon Stone ought to be ashamed of herself. Looking like somebody's grandma that drinks too much and smokes and coke, I might add, and drugs. But Sharon Stone, stop. She got to stop, man. Sharon Stone, you know good and well why men aren't looking at you. It's because there are other younger, more attractive women in the room. It's just that simple. And when you walk into the room, they want to give you respect. Hey, Miss Stone, I'm a big fan. Can I buy you a drink? Can I like that? But they ain't looking at you to be with you. Any young guy that want to sleep with you, Sharon Stone, it's because you're Sharon Stone and you're going to pay. It's because you're Sharon Stone and you're going to pay. So all you boss chicks out there, just know the older you get, the more you got to pay. You want that young stud? Now the girl that had the big stomach sticking out, the marsupial, listen, she can get a guy that has a six-pack and tall and all that. She won't have to pay though. Like Sharon Stone can get a guy, she gonna have to pay. See, when men get older and they want something young, they got to pay. So again, welcome to the big leagues. So when she say I'm not easy, she mean with that black card. I'm not finna buy you a Bugatti tomorrow. Let's start with an Aston Martin. That's what she mean by easy. Because she show easy, believe me. Well, she cold talking about it's not because you're not as hot as you were when you're young. You almost 70 years old. Woman, sit down somewhere. Sit down. Let's continue. Let's continue. I got a video where they said that Sharon Stone was paying. Where's that video at? Hold on.
Certainly considering a house here.
Okay.
And I think that's an intelligent construct at this time.
Sure. And I mean, I can't recommend it enough.
Yes.
But is it in any way political?
Sharon Stone is looking like Sly Stone. Look at this. Sharon Stone is looking like Sylvester Stallone. Who is she kidding? She look like Jack Nicholson. What are we talking about? They're not looking at you? Because you aren't as hot as you were when you were younger? Are you serious? Sharon Stone, stop. Miss Stone. Listen to her, but look at her too.
Well, I'm certainly considering a house here.
Okay.
And I think that's an intelligent construct at this time.
Sure. And I mean, I can't recommend it enough.
Yes.
But is it in any way politically motivated, or is it just?
Well, naturally. When we see presidential candidates whose platform is hate, that's something that I don't feel our country has faced before. We've faced political candidates whose platform was ignorance, but I don't think we've seen political candidates whose outright platform was hatred.
So again, another side effect is women being that single, then they started becoming extreme liberals because they started getting upset. They start getting upset at the world. How dare you not look at me like you did when I was younger? How dare you say I'm getting too old? You know, in 2001, Sharon Stone had a stroke. Listen to me. Sharon Stone had a stroke in 2001. That's 23 years ago she had a stroke. So she had a stroke in her 40s. Y'all think she's happy? Sharon Stone had a stroke in her 40s. Do you think she's happy? And listen, y'all, I'm not picking on Sharon Stone, but I'm trying to give you all a reality check on what feminism has done.
Sharon Stone doesn't like Tinder. Sharon Stone is 66 and looking for love online. She got blocked from Bumble, so she tried her luck on Tinder, only to match with a heroin addict. The actress is looking for a real connection. She has no specific criteria or expectations.
This is what happens when a woman is out there on her own, doing it her way. She doesn't know how to set a standard, because a woman is going to get her standards from the man, because the man sets the standard. So hopefully her father sets it, then her husband sets it. She's moving from one standard to the next, but hopefully those standards are the same, because both of those men should have a godly standard. So even if a woman doesn't know Christ, if she knows you, fellas, she should know Christ. We should be a walking testimony for who Jesus is. Like the Bible says, that the men are to love their wives, husbands are to love their wives like Christ loved the church. So we are really to be the embodiment of Jesus, especially with these women. Worst case scenario, if y'all don't work out, she should at least be able to say, at least I know what a God-fearing man is like. But you heard what Sharon Stone said. Let's just go back to it. Let's go back to it.
She's even ready to be a free thinker. Sharon Stone is 66 and looking for love online. She got blocked from Bumble, so she tried her luck on Tinder, only to match with a heroin addict. The actress...
Now, boss chick, they're happier when they're older, no children and single, they're happy. But she's on dating apps at 66 years old. There are probably no men on Bumble or Tinder above 50. So that means she's on these sites looking for a young man. So she gets kicked off of Bumble. So that means she had to have been reckless on Bumble. For her to get put off of Bumble, she had to have been reckless. It's Bumble. Then she goes to Tinder at 66. You know, swipe left, swipe right.
Actress is looking for a real connection. She tried her luck on Tinder, only to match with a heroin addict.
Again, she went on Tinder. You know she don't have good sense, because she's been out in the world so long on her own, doing it her way, like Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. She out there being Frank Sinatra. Can't pick a good man to save her life. Don't know what a good man is. Ended up with a heroin addict. Think about this, y'all. Think about her getting on a podcast and y'all thinking she's so wise, and she ends up hooking up with a heroin addict. You know why? Because most women cannot pick a good man. What the smart women do is they find a good guy and they plant their flag early. Early. You rarely see a woman pick a good guy the older they get. It gets harder and harder. Because finding a good man is going to require that woman to sit at home and be still and be in that word and preserve herself.
The actress is looking for a real connection. She has no specific criteria or expectations. She's even ready to be a free therapist for a guy. Yet she is still single. Sharon Stone's love life.
She says she's willing to be a therapist for a guy. This is the fate. Now go back to that first clip. The guy said when they surveyed the women that were most happy were the women that were single, never married, no children. Those were the happiest. But when you watch their behavior and how they navigate through the world, it's impossible. Sharon Stone is rich and famous. Think about Sharon Stone. She's rich and famous and can't find a man. And then she says she's willing to be a therapist for me. In other words, she's saying, I'm so desperate, I'm willing to just let y'all, I'm willing to just be with me. You can vent, you can cry. I just want you here. The older a woman gets, the more desperate she gets until it's over. Because the only thing that gives a woman value is her preservation, her virtue. A woman is not valuable because she has a lot of money. She's not valuable because she has a nice car or a nice house. That don't make a woman valuable. Not to a man. He don't even care about that. The only man that cares about how much money a woman has is a man that plans on spending it. But Sharon Stone was just on a podcast trying to get these young girls advice, and she out here dating heroin addicts.
Hasn't been kind to her. In 20 Tinder, Sharon Stone is 66 and looking for love online. She got blocked from Bumble. So she tried her luck on Tinder, only to match with a heroin addict. The actress is looking for a real connection. She has no specific criteria or expectations. She's even ready to be a free therapist for a guy. Yet she is still single. Sharon Stone's love life hasn't been kind to her. In 2022, she admitted to being dumped by her younger lover. It was allegedly the rapper Rumor. Stone's boyfriend insisted that she get Botox.
Now imagine Sharon Stone, boss chick, Miss Independent, we run the world, girls, all that. And imagine her dating a rapper in his 20s. Sharon Stone, boss chick, run the world. Imagine her dating a rapper in his 20s. Think about that relationship. Think about a rapper and think about Sharon Stone, how it's going to work out. And she's 40 years older than him. Is that happiness? Is that happiness? So again, what they're doing is they're selling you women a bill of goods because the ultimate goal is to have no families. These globalists know if men have families, they're going to fight. If women have families, they're going to be focused on the man and the children. They're not going to be focused on the propaganda. So the goal of all of this is for you not to be married. If society collapses tomorrow, what is a single woman going to do? If the power grids get shut down tomorrow, no gas stations, no grocery stores, no power, no lights, no nothing, what are single women going to do? Come together? Huh? You think single women are going to come together and figure it out? It's not going to happen. They're going to try to find the nearest man who they believe can protect them.
The actress replied,
"It would probably be very good for your ego."
22, she admitted to being dumped by her younger lover. It was allegedly the rapper Rumor. Stone's boyfriend insisted that she get Botox. The actress replied,
"It would probably be very good for your ego."
Then Stone decided to give online dating a try. She's been there before. In 2019, she used Bumble, but her account was blocked. Stone explained that some users didn't believe it was her. Her account was later restored. Stone now prefers using Tinder. She is looking for love and a real connection.
"I didn't want to just go on Tinder and somebody. Do you know what I mean?"
Imagine a woman in her she's almost 70 years. How old is Sharon Stone right now? Let me see. Hold up. Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone is 66 years old, and she believes that she can find love on Tinder. Sharon Stone is 66 years old, and she believes that she can find love in a real relationship on an app where you swipe left and swipe right. And you all want to convince me that she's happy. It's insanity. It's a lie. If y'all don't believe that Sharon Stone ain't treating her nose in her private time, you don't think she on coke and all kind of pills? There's no way a person in their right mind could think they're going to find love on Tinder. Tender love, love so tender. You said Martha Stewart is single? Hold on. Please tell me that Martha Stewart ain't single. Tender love, love so tender, giving it close. Baby, I surrender. Martha Stewart looking for love. Let me see, man. I hope not. Please. Martha Stewart in 2023 reveals her dating red flags. Last year, Martha Stewart admits, Martha Stewart at 82 admits she's still interested in finding love as she reveals her secret dating advice for beautiful girls wanting a man. Are you out? If you listen to Martha Stewart for dating advice, I got some beach front property in Idaho, and I got it for cheap. You have to be out of your mind. Martha Stewart is 83 years old, and she's still trying to date, but y'all told me she was happy. They just said the studies show women are happy when they're single with no children and living their best life, but you see that has an end, because Martha Stewart is still searching. Now, who is she going to find? I'll tell you. She gonna open that checkbook up. She gonna pull that black card out, and she gonna find her some young stud. And he gonna do it for the money. She gonna be a sugar mama to a young man. Same with Sharon Stone. Gotta be a sugar mama. Baby, I surrender. But Sharon Stone, y'all, come on. Let's get back to it. Let's continue.
It's so easy to somebody. You don't have to go on Tinder. You go to Coffee Bean. It's not hard.
So far her search has not been very successful. One of her dates was a former convict. Then there was an addict.
Clearly 20,000 heroin injections later than the picture he sent me.
They had a date at the Hotel Bel Air, but it didn't last long. Stone ordered only water. The man had an alcoholic drink. Stone then said,
I'm sorry, I can't stay.
but not every dating experience was a horror story for her.
So what you're finding is that women, I'm gonna say it again, women don't know how to pick a good man. They don't. Because what women look for in men are attributes. It's not based on character. So they want a guy that's tall. They want a guy that has a six-pack. They want a guy that makes a certain amount of money, has a certain type of car, certain type of house. So again, it's all aesthetics. So the woman sees a guy, she's looking at the overall picture, not the inside of the picture though. If you ask the average woman to look and you point out a guy, you say, is that a good guy or not? She can't tell you. If you ask the average man, he gonna have a good idea whether he's a good guy or not, just by looking at him. You can tell by the way a guy walks whether he's good or not, what he says whether he's good or not. Women can't. Sierra had a baby with Future. Future got 8 baby mamas, and Sierra had a child with him. Think about that. Future had 8 children, and Sierra laid down with him and thought to herself, this is going to work. Women can't pick a good man. They can't. That's why the smart women settle down early. They cash them chips in early. I remember one time I was in a casino and there was a guy and he was winning blackjack. And he had all the money on the table, like just a pile of money, like this, on the chips on the table, just a pile. You know what he did? He said, baby, come here. She pulled her bag out. He put all them chips in her bag. Smart. He was smart. The woman was smart. My job is to be ready to open that bag of him to put them chips in. But guess what? She gonna benefit. Married couple, dude had all. I'm talking about chips. This dude was winning money, but what he was smart. He was gambling. He was winning, and then starting from scratch. Smart. You shouldn't be gambling like. But I'm just saying, he was gambling. He would win a lot and get rid of the chips, so he started from scratch. Smart strategy. But guess what? The girlfriend right there. I got you, baby. Come on. Smart. But my point is wisdom. Wisdom. Logic. Principle. Women are going to get that from the world or the women. A woman can go through life not being honorable. I'm going to say it again. A woman can go through life and not be honorable. How many men can go through life without having honor? It's either going to be short-lived or end up in prison. But a woman, she can get by in life not being a good woman. She can get a job, career. A woman cannot be good and have friends and everything. And it's because the standards for men and women are different. Men are held to a higher standard. So when it comes to a woman picking a man, she has to understand there are 2 types of men in the world. That's wise and that's foolish. That's it. So Sharon Stone was never taught that. She thinks men come in all different shapes and sizes, but they don't. He's either honorable and wise, a man of character, or he isn't. He's foolish. That's it. This is how Sharon Stone can date a convict in one date, a heroin addict one date, probably somebody gay one day. If you ever notice women when they're dating, the men are all over the place. Listen to a woman's dating story, and the men are all over the place. This guy was doing this. This guy was doing this. This guy was a womanizer. This guy was an ex-convict. This guy had a disease. This guy was a lot. Like, I'm just saying, you know why? Because women don't know how to pick a good man. what they do is they see their father, and that's how they learn. They get into the Bible, and that's how they learn. Because those two things right there, if your father was a God-fearing man and you're in the Bible, most men are going to pale in comparison. It actually saves you to do that, to look in the Bible and say, okay, what does God require a man to be? So you mean to tell me that God requires for the husband to love his wife like Christ loved the church? That's a heavy and powerful statement. And so what I'm saying is that Sharon Stone is in her 60s, but she's dating like she's 15 years old. And they're trying to tell you all that this is happiness. It's not.
She had 2 online relationships during the pandemic. The relationships remained virtual, but Stone helped the men process recent breakups. She said,
I was almost like a therapist.
one man's wife wanted a divorce after having 2 kids. He struggled to accept it. The other man's girlfriend got an abortion instead of marrying him. He still loved her deeply. Stone helped him process those feelings. She said it was rewarding for both of them. But in 2024, Stone hopes to find real love.
This is the year that I want to fall in love, 100%.
Stone has no specific criteria for her next partner.
Now imagine a woman having all these horrible dating experiences, and then her summation is, I don't have any criteria for the next man. Imagine a woman having all these bad experiences, and it doesn't even dawn on her to say, I should have a criteria. This is the boss chick. This is the free woman. This is the most happy demographic in the world is this.
She says, love doesn't come from checking off a list. She believes real love finds you naturally.
I've never looked for anything.
Stone has
all these women quotes, these women logic quotes. Love does not happen naturally. Love is an action word. And we love with action, and we also choose to love. You don't love accidentally. You love on purpose. You spend time with somebody enough to develop love for them. So love don't just happen naturally, because real love ain't really self-serving. It's not really satisfying. Because for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So again, we know that real love requires something that most folks aren't willing to give. So again, all this stuff sounds good for the foolish, but not to the wise. So this is why women are happy. It's because they get to live in chaos and la la land. This is a fantasy. It's so much of a fantasy that Sharon Stone isn't even fazed by the fact that she's 66 and single. She's still optimistic, which should let you know that her mind is reprobate. It's over. And by the time she figures out that it was all a sham, it's going to be too late.
has been married and divorced twice. From 1984 to 1990, she was with producer Michael Greenberg. They met on the set of the Vegas Strip War. Their marriage lasted 3 years. In 1998, Stone's married Phil Bronstein. She wanted a baby, but kept miscarrying. In 2000, they started the adoption process. Eventually, Stone adopted a son, Roan. But Bronstein turned out to be an awful person. In 2001, Stone suffered a severe stroke. She also had a brain hemorrhage that lasted for 9 days. There was a 5% chance of Stone surviving. Half of her face was falling down. After her stroke, Bronstein ignored her. He didn't see, talk, or look at her. He filed for divorce and got together with someone else. Stone admits she's had the worst luck with men.
Again, she admits that she's had the worst luck with men. And the problem is that she's not factoring in that she's picking the men. You're picking them. I want Sharon Stone to be a lesson to all of you women who think that you're going to be happy 40, 50, 60 years old with no children, living your best life. You see what Sharon Stone's going through, and she's rich. She's rich and famous. When she goes play people, she gets the red carpet treatment. Miserable. She's miserable.
You know, when you're single at this age, there's usually a reason for that. I count myself in there.
She know. Thank you, Sharon, for that last honest quote. Angel Wings. Yes, Angel Wings. Thank you, Angel Wings. Thank you. She want to see the likes match the viewers. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Like this from a black woman that says that she doesn't need a black man to win, and Kamala Harris does not need black men to win. Number one, this is what Democrats and the left really think about black men. Number two, this is what today's black woman thinks about black men. This is why they are more likely to be single than any other race of women. This is why the black community is so close to being cooked right now. Because what has happened is this: over the past couple of years, over the past, I would say 40 to 50 years, black men have been replaced in black households by Democrats and by liberalism. What they have done is they have established what I like to call the black Democrat matriarchy. The black community is a matriarchal community. That is why it's cooked. That is why it goes through so many of the issues that it goes through right now, with fatherlessness, with the culture issues, with everything that is going on, because of attitudes and ideas like this. And you have to understand that when it comes to attitudes and ideas like this, from black women that are saying that they don't need black men, that are saying that they do better without them, they're saying that Kamala Harris doesn't need black men to win, et cetera, that is the fundamental, that is the way that the community thinks. That is the way that these chicks that are held up as the strong, powerful, beautiful, all-knowing black women, this is how they think. This is why blacks are so close to being cooked, because this is the head of the black community right now.
What's that guy's name? I forgot his name, but he's spot on. That's why I had this clip. So basically what he's saying, we'll play it again, but what he's saying is true. And I was talking to someone today, and I talked about the fact that, again, culturally, if black women run the black community, then they're automatically not going to respect black men. It's not in a woman's nature to be over it's not in a woman's nature to be over a man and respect him. So what you find is black women already, again, and this whole Kamala Harris thing is revealing, because most black women and most liberal women support Kamala Harris. Think about it. Kamala Harris is running around saying, listen, sacrifice your baby to Satan. Let's get these trans in here, get them some more rights. Like Kamala's platform is foolish. But most women support her because most women in the West are feminists. And how do we know this? We know this because you've never seen a protest against feminism. There have been a protest against racism. There have been a protest against the banking industry, the financial industry. There's been protests against, police. There's been a protest against the government. Like, there have been protests for everything except feminism. And you know why? Because most women, whether they say it or not, in these Western societies are feminists. how is it not enticing for the media to tell a woman that she's great just for being a woman? Honestly, think about it. Like, how is it not enticing to the average woman for the media, the machine, to say you are special just because you're a woman? You are special because you and 5 billion other women can give birth. You're special because you can give life. You are a woman. You're smarter than men. Like, what woman isn't going to fall for that? Think about that. Like, what woman's going to reject that? Honestly. I heard a woman at my job, and she said, the man is supposed to be the head. All the women was like, no. Even the ones that were married. Even the ones that were married said no. I said, my goodness. So I'm talking about. Most women are feminists. It's true. You've never seen women will come together and protest against abortion. But they won't come together and protest against feminism. So the fact that there has never been a protest against feminism lets you know that most women are feminists. As destructive as feminism has been, and there has never been a protest against it, that should let you know that most women agree with it.
From a black woman that says that she doesn't need a black man to win, and Kamala Harris does not need black men to win. Number one, this is what Democrats and the left really think about black men. Number two, this is what today's black woman thinks about black men. This is why they are more likely to be single than any other race of women. This is why the black community is so close to being cooked right now. Because what has happened is this: over the past couple of years, over the past, I would say 40 to 50 years, black men have been replaced in black households by Democrats and by liberalism. What they have done is they have established what I like to call the black Democrat matriarchy. The black community.
The black Democratic matriarchy. Because the Democratic Party has infiltrated the black church, mostly women, the black community ran by women, and the Democratic Party in politics has empowered black women. So think about the 3 areas that black women dominate. They dominate in the church, in politics, and in the home. So to the average woman that's not black, looking at black women, is that appealing or a turnoff? It's appealing. Black women don't get condemned for being single mothers. They don't get condemned from getting abortions. Black women get celebrated for everything they do. That's enticing. It's enticing. They see Cardi B as a rebel. They see Meg Thee Stallion as a rebel. They see Kamala Harris as these women are seen as rebels to the system. You've never seen a protest against feminism. You've never seen it. And it's destructive. You've never seen women in the streets saying no more. But you know why they can't? Because they agree with most of the aspects of it. You are special just because you're a woman. You are better than a man. If I get on stage right now and say, you know what? Y'all may not know this, but women are smarter than men. You know what? Y'all might not know this, but women are stronger than men. You know what? Y'all might not know this, but the world would be a better place if women were in charge. Now, all these women agreeing with that, and they don't realize that is literally the argument for the trans. If the women are better than men, then how can a trans be any kind of threat? If the women are smarter than men, stronger than men, can have children, basically better than men, then how can the trans community be a threat in any kind of way? So what the devil did was, the devil told you the fruit was good, and most women bit it. And black women, because they run the politics, the home, because they run the political arena, they run the home, and they run the church. When they're feminists, it's on steroids. It's Godzilla, it's King Kong. What's the other big creature from the other movie? I forgot the name of it. Cloverfield. The one before, what's the one before the Cloverfield one? Whatever that big thing was, it's like that too. Whatever's big and tearing up New York City, it's like that too. That's black women. Because they actually live a life that backs up feminism. Their life, running the community, running the church, in the political arena, their life actually is a proof of feminism, how it works. Look, we're in charge.
So comments like this from a black woman that says that she doesn't need a black man to win, and Kamala Harris does not need black men to win. Number one, this is what Democrats and left really think about black men. Number two, this is what today's black woman thinks about black men. This is why they are more likely to be single than any other race of women. This is why the black community is so close to being cooked right now.
So for you on Instagram, the comment is, hold on, I'll give you the comment. Woo! Good thing she doesn't need black men to win. Laugh out loud. No black woman does. Period.
Because what has happened is this: over the past couple of years, over the past, I would say 40 to 50 years, black men have been replaced in black households by Democrats and by liberalism. What they have done is they have established what I like to call the black Democrat matriarchy. The black community is a matriarchal community. That is why it's cooked. That is why it goes through so many of the issues that it goes through right now, with fatherlessness, with the culture issues, with everything that is going on, because of attitudes and ideas like this. And you have to understand that when it comes to attitudes and ideas like this, from black women that are saying that they don't need black men, that are saying that they do better without them, they're saying that Kamala Harris doesn't need black men to win, et cetera, that is the fundamental, that is the way that the community thinks. That is.
And this is a gay guy saying this. This guy is gay, and he's saying, he's like, wait a minute, y'all, because he knows this attitude is a wrap. Even though folks are gay, they still want to see families. I don't care what they tell you. They still have a level of comfort when they go outside and they see normal families. They're put at ease because they even know if everybody thinks like them, it's going to be chaos in the streets. So they know that. But what he's saying, again, is spot on. It's spot on. This is the problem, because black women don't have to respect black men, and it's black men's fault, though. This is why I say the black man is weak, because the black man is dominated politically, in his home, and at church, and socially. The black man is dominated by the black woman in all areas. The only area that black men can thrive in is the homicide rate. That's it. Black men only excel in the homicide rate and going to prison. That's it. So the fact that black women lead is an indictment on the black man. Not her, on him. Because it takes a weak man to be dominated in all of your existence, politically, in the church, at home, and socially, and in education. dominated in 5 categories: politically, religiously, home, socially, and education. So for that to happen to a man, he had to be weak. He put up no fight. The black man put up no fight when this stuff took place. He put up no fight. The black man been crying about the white man for 100 years. He crying about the white man, but meanwhile his woman done took over. You got to get your own house in order before you go appoint fiance white man. You got to get your own house in order before you start pointing the finger at the white man. And the black man never did that. The black man left his house in disarray to go out into the streets to protest. His whole house is in shambles. And he had the audacity to leave the house and go protest. So what's in the black community is deserved. What's in the black community is godly. It's righteous. It's a curse. You get cursed for being disobedient, but you also get cursed for being a coward. So I don't feel sorry for the black man. This is what he gets.
The way that these chicks that are held up as these strong, powerful, beautiful, all-knowing black women, this is how they think. This is why blacks are so close to being cooked, because this is the head of the black community right now.
Everything he said was facts. Everything he said was facts. The black women run it all, from politics to the church, to education, to the household, to society. Black women run it all. And the black man will never regain his position, ever. Because what it takes for him to regain it, he will have to be willing to lose it all. He's not willing to. He's too comfortable. For the black man to gain his position back, he would have to make a stance and say, I don't care if I don't ever get another black woman again in my life. I got to do this. That's the only way. And last I checked, the only man like that, with that kind of conviction, is a man that follows Christ. Angel Wing saying y'all ain't liking the video. I don't know why y'all ain't liking it. I don't know why y'all ain't liking it.
A woman gives up financial independence to a mate, it's over.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to use your craft, use your career, but you have to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. And more women have to accept lifestyles that are unpleasant because they are financially stuck. So if you're smart, you teach your daughters, teach your granddaughters. Everybody has to have something that they're good at where they can earn a living.
Now, what she's saying sounds good on the surface. But what is she really saying? What she's really saying, Judge Judy, what she's really saying is don't fully submit. Don't fully submit. You see, what she's showing you all, revealing, is that women aren't able to pick a righteous man. Why would you marry a man if you believe that he will leave you high and dry? Why would you marry a man that you believe at any given moment, he could take it away from you. That lets me know you can't pick a good man. And the reason why you can't is because you spent all those years in the world. Listen to the advice that career women give, and then listen to the advice that non-career women give when they're married. It's going to be totally different. What the judge is talking about is a woman not fully submitting to the man that she chose. But if you don't fully submit, how is the marriage truly going to work? See, the problem is that folks been getting married, but they haven't been doing it the right way. They haven't been giving 110%. And that's been the problem. The problem is you being in a marriage and you planning on what if he does this, what if he doesn't do this? You didn't pick the right man. If you pick the right man, you should know, I shout over doubt, there's no way this man right here is going to leave me. You should have that much faith in that man. The same way Christ, the husband loves the church like Christ, is the same way the church has faith in Christ. The same way you have faith in that man. But what the judge is talking about is not fully submitting. And the reason why you all's marriages don't work most of the time is because there isn't full submission. There isn't full submission from the man to God, and there isn't full submission from the woman to the man. That's why the marriages are failing. Because women take worldly advice instead of biblical advice. Women choose the world over wisdom. Let's play it again.
Once a woman gives up financial independence to a mate, it's over.
Yep.
You don't necessarily have to use your craft, use your career, but you have to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. And more women have to accept lifestyles that are unpleasant because they are financially stuck. So if you're smart, you teach your daughters, teach your granddaughters, everybody has to have something that they're good at where they can earn a living.
The mountain woman says, she says, I submit to my husband, and he treats me and his daughter like the most valuable possession on earth. Everyone is human. Women are the helpers. That's the strength of a woman to help their husbands. But this is what I mean, though. So the society is telling you that you being a helpmate to a man is beneath you as a woman. You being a wife is beneath you. You submitting is beneath you. He should be bowing down to you. This is what the world says. Who run the world? Who run the world? Girls. So again, what she said is correct. When the woman honors the man, he gives her the world. The problem is that you women are picking the wrong man. You control access to intercourse. So you determine who you sleep with. Men can try all day, but you got the final say. So the problem is that you all are trying to apply wifely principles to a man that isn't following God. And that's the problem. That's why you're getting such bad results. Because a man is following God, a man is walking like Christ, he's not going to compromise you. He's not going to have you out there. Even if y'all break up, you won't be compromised. Even if y'all break up, you won't be compromised. Let's continue. Let me end on this right here. I'm gonna end on this. And I'm gonna come back on Wednesday.
Give her the option of, oh, you can look at my phone. So I gave her the phone. She looks at the phone and there's a message and it says, kill the Grammys, do your thing. And I didn't read the rest of the message, I didn't open it. So she opened the message and the rest of the message said, I'll see you at the cloud party. So I thought she thought I was lying. She starts going off, she throws the phone, I hate you, whatever. Starts hitting me. We're in a little Lamborghini. You know, she's fighting me and I'm like, look, I'm telling you the truth, I swear to God. You know, I'm telling you the truth, stop it. So then she hits me a couple more times and I just kind of it doesn't go from translation to let's sit down, I'm telling you the truth. It goes to now I'm finna be mean and be evil, arguing. So then like I remember she tried to kick me. It's like just her just being upset. But then I really hit her, like I with a closed fist, like I punched her, you know, and it busted her lip. And when I saw it, I was in shock. I was like, fuck, why the hell did I hit her? Like, so from there, she just spit in my face, like spit the blood in my face, and I'm like, yo, so it enraged me even more. Like it's a real on fight in a car. We driving down the street. So I'm like, yo, man, we tripping. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? She's trying to grab for my phone, and I'm not giving her my phone to throw it out the window. So she grabs my nuts. And when she do that, I bite her arm, I think, as I'm driving, because I'm still trying to drive. And it's just like a petty, like, stupid fight, bro. And I'm just realizing it. I'm like, look, what the hell am I doing, bro? Like, what are you, like, you honestly doing this in the car right now? Like, what are we doing? So I put.
So he's breaking down what happened between him and Rihanna. And I believe him. We live in a world where the woman's always right, the man's always wrong. I'm not saying that Chris Brown is perfect, but the way he's describing this story, I believe him. Because you think about it, he gave her the phone. So clearly he's not going to give her the phone if there's a message on there that says he would meet up with some chick. He gave her the phone to see the message. And like, you know, he said he didn't read the rest of the message, he gave it to her. But he's young. And he's young, she's young, he's foolish, she's foolish. Probably shouldn't have been dating. So, but this story was one-sided. All that she did got erased because of what he did. She kicking, grabbing, spitting, but if he touched her, he's wrong. And so when and Rihanna, if you remember, she wanted to stay with Chris Brown, but the media, her publicist, her manager, Jay-Z, everybody said you can't do it. Everybody was against her getting with Chris Brown, but you know why she wanted to get back with him? Because she knew she was wrong. Not just that he was wrong, she knew she was wrong too. And so the world told Rihanna, you can't get back with him. You know why? Because the man is the one with the standard, not the woman. She can curse, kick, spit, grab, it don't matter what she do. If he do something, that's the problem. See, the world can accept him injured in a car crash, hurt, in the hospital because she attacked him. Because the headline is going to read, Rihanna finds out Chris Brown was cheating and goes and gets angry and attacks him. The world can accept that. What they can't accept is him hitting her back. The standard is on the man. So in all this boss woman empowerment and all this, I'm happy with no children and 40-something, 50 and 60 single, when all that, just know that the standards and requirements are not the same. What you got in life, you got carte blanche. You didn't get it like a man got it. Because a man didn't get no leeway, he didn't get any breaks. In fact, everything was put on Chris Brown, and he was young. They put the weight of all women that got abused on Chris Brown as a young man, early 20s, if he was early 20s. Let's continue.
Pull over in Hancock Park, maybe less than 2-3 miles from my house, because I'm just trying to resolve the situation. I'm not trying to fight any further. I don't want to, like, I love her. I don't want to hurt my girlfriend. You know, so I pull over and I said, look, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm crying, she's crying. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God, like,
Let me see. You say he was a teenager? Let me see. How old was Chris Brown when he broke up with Rihanna? Let me see if you can run it, run it. Let me see if you can run it, run it. So Chris Brown was 18 and Rihanna was 20 when they started dating. So Chris Brown was young. Chris Brown, and again, I'm not saying that Chris Brown is innocent. I'm simply saying that two people were guilty in this instance. Both of them were guilty, but the world put the standard on the man, not the woman. Let me see if you can run it, run it.
any further. I don't want to, like, I love her. I don't want to hurt my girlfriend. You know, so I pull over and I said, look, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I'm crying, she's crying. Like, I'm telling you the truth. I swear to God, like, I didn't do it. I didn't know she was fucking coming. I didn't know, I promise. She just didn't believe me. Like, I just know you lying to me. You're lying to me. So she takes the keys out of the car. I'm in park. She takes the keys out of the car and throws fakes like she throws them out the window. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I get out the car. When I get out the car, I'm looking for the keys in somebody's yard. And she yells out her door, help, he's trying to kill me. I said, stop, like, we gonna get in trouble. So I'm looking for the keys. She's sitting on the keys. So I'm like, you know what? I can't play this game with you. So I'm getting my bags out of the car. She takes my CDs. This is back when I would record on CDs. You couldn't put it on your phone when you leave the studio. So I had new music and she was just scratching it up. I just seen her scratching it up with the keys. So I snatched the bag. And I was like, you know what? You got the keys. You can drive home. By this time, her lip was busted. She had a knot because I pushed her head up against the window. And you know, a lot of the times, like, I look back at that picture and I'm just like, you know.
That picture looks bad, don't it? That picture looks bad, don't it? Did they ever show you Chris Brown's face? Let's see Chris Brown's face. How did Chris Brown look after a fight with Rihanna? Let me see if you can run it, run it. Make me feel like I want to do a little something. The way you wear Jesus turning me on. Well, he got a chunk of his chin missing. I see that. He got a chunk of that chin gone. A chunk of their chin. A chunk of their chin. Let me see. Oh no. That's in the bar fight with Drake. That ain't Rihanna. Hold on. That ain't Rihanna. Where are the fights after Rihanna? I don't even see him. I see Rihanna. I don't see his though. You mean tell me y'all ain't got no pictures of Chris Brown's face after the fight? I want to do a little something. Ain't no way I do. But the way you wear Jesus turning me on. The way you wear them jeans. I can't find them, y'all. I can't find them. So the fact that I can't find the Chris Brown pictures should let you know that it's, again, this is the women's empowerment. This is the I'm boss chick. I'm happy. This is all of that. They are letting you all do this. This is a very well orchestrated plan to make you all believe that you all are invincible on this earth. And then in a moment's notice, all the lights gonna cut off. Y'all gonna be finished. You think these men that y'all been stunting on all these years gonna protect y'all against some zombies? Against the freaks, against the ghouls and the goblins? Are you crazy? I can't find one picture of Chris Brown.
Bro, like, that's not me, bro. That's not me. Like, I hate it to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna haunt me forever. I hated myself, you know, so I was thinking about suicide and everything else. So.
Listen, you all, Chris Brown started dating her when he was 18 years, she was 20. What did he know? He's a child. When did this incident happen? Let me see. But the way you wear them jeans is turning me on. When did Chris Brown fight Rihanna? Let me see. Chris Brown was 19. Chris Brown was 19 years old. And they've held this over this man's head for his entire life. Think about that. This man was 19 and he can't live it down. These women that did all kind of crazy stuff and they get celebrated for it. And y'all don't think it's a setup? This man can't live down one incident. And y'all women out here going ham, and y'all able to live it and get celebrated for it. Live it all down. I'm going to find this video. I saw a woman on there on one of these shows telling the audience that society made her cheat on her husband. She said that society made her cheat on her husband. I said, God. Let me see if you can run it.
It was just like, fuck. But from there, I said, you know what, I'm gonna just take everything and like it's come. My consequences for my actions have to be dealt with. You know, I turned myself in the next day, pled guilty, didn't, you know, argue, didn't say, hey, now let me fight this case and take it to trial, and just say, hey, she fought me back. No, I'm not. That's not where my head was at. And
Kofi said, how many men has he attacked over Karrueche Tran? He hasn't done himself any favors. I agree, he hasn't. But for this particular incident, though, they were both at fault. Now, with Karrueche Tran and all that, no. But with this incident, they were both at fault. Both of them. They were both wrong. They were both wrong. The only problem is that society is going to, because he's wrong, that absolves her wrong. This is why I say all this woman empowerment stuff, all this boss chick stuff, all that is cap. Because women aren't getting held to the same standard as men. They're not. Women are getting held to a standard. Sharon Stone can be out there thotting around and get praised. And get praised and celebrated for it. Lizzo, 400 pounds and getting praised and celebrated. Ketanji Brown said, I don't know what a woman is. Celebrate it. I'm going to go easy on the child molesters. Celebrate it. Kamala Harris, easy on the child molesters and pedophiles. Celebrate it. Clarence Thomas, he got to go. Donald Trump, lock him up. Ben Carson, sell out. that guy's a kicker for the NFL, cancel him for talking about marriage. Again, y'all, women are not held to the same standard. It's just not. So the reason why you all are happy is because you're in a fantasy. That's why. It's not reality. Because in real life, when all this stuff shuts down, what are you going to do? It's going to be Mad Max. If you ain't got no Mad Max, it's going to be hard to get one. Let's continue.
That's not where it is now. You know, I loved her. You know, I wanted to protect her because I did too much stuff to her. Like, I did what I did, so it was wrong. The hardest.
So imagine Chris Brown. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but he took full responsibility. Didn't even say what she did. Did she ever come out and say she was guilty too? Did Rihanna ever come out and say, I was wrong too? Don't put that on Chris Brown. Did Rihanna ever come out and say, don't do him like that, y'all wrong? Did Rihanna ever say, what y'all doing to Chris Brown is wrong? Did Rihanna ever get on a public platform and tell the world that she was wrong too? Did Rihanna ever say, you know what, you guys? Chris Brown was 19 years old. Let it go. No. See, that's what happens in this modern world with these women. There's no honor. Imagine you starting a fight. Imagine you starting a fight and you get benefiting from it. Imagine your career taking off because you were wrong. Boss Chick, Fenty, ASAP Rocky, I'm a baby mama, I'm winning. Imagine you being wrong and getting celebrated for it. This is why all of this boss women talk, all of this rise to the top women empowerment stuff is Satan. Because y'all ain't earning it. Because if y'all were held to the same standard as a man, you wouldn't even want it. If y'all were held to the same standard as a man, you wouldn't even want it. Meg Thee Stallion lied on Tory Lanez. Benefit. Cassie stayed around all them years, got paid, lived her best life, left with 30 million, and took off. Am I saying these men are right? No. I'm saying that these women ain't being held to no standard. If a guy's with a woman and she's abusing him, if a guy says she made me do sex parties, nobody's going to believe him. Not going to have any sympathy. Think about it now. Think about the society telling women you're better than a man. And then if a man's weak, oh, she ain't better than him no more. She don't have power over him no more. Come on. Now, all of a sudden, when it comes to this, now he should be able to think rationally. He can't be a victim. Like I said, all y'all boss chicks, you ain't really earning it. You're not. You're not being held to the same standard as a man. Because if you were, you wouldn't want it. Let me see if you can run it, run it. I want to do a little something. When you wear them Jesus turning me on. I love y'all. Thank you, Cruise Missile, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Janan TV, thank you for making me laugh today. Thank you, Janan TV. I really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. You know I love y'all. Thank you, Goddess Navi. Y'all give our host a round of applause. Thank you, guys, Navi, for all your wonderful service. And thank you, Angel Wings, for your wonderful service. You do this on my channel, and you go to Chad's channel, and probably Keisha and Chuck. So we got to give her a round of applause as well. I know this isn't easy to do. Take time out of your day doing this, but I thank you. I really do. Listen, I love y'all, and I will see you all on Wednesday to talk about feminism equaling freedom. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all.